My name's Jenny. I'm Charlie's mom, and he was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes 9 years ago. The way that I can best explain it, and that some other type 1 parents sort of explained it to me, was similar to what it's like to bring home a baby for the first time.
I'm Juliana Coburn. I'm from Huntsville, Alabama. I attend the University of West Alabama, and I play on the women's soccer team. I had just turned 5 when I was diagnosed. A lot of people say I don't remember much, but honestly, I kind of remember everything about that day. It's kind of one of those days that I hate to say turns your world upside down, but it does.
My name is Matthew Jordan. I'm 20 years old. I'm from Fairfield, Alabama. I attend Georgia Tech, and I'm a quarterback on the football team. I was 11 years old when I was first diagnosed. Probably what I remember most was being really scared, and I didn't really know what type 1 was. It was kind of rough. It was kind of tough for me, being a small kid trying to play sports. Actually, my first year of football, when I got diagnosed, I missed like the first 2 weeks of training, and I wanted to quit.
I think Charlie was about 4. And I was having trouble with his blood sugars on the soccer field. And what was happening was Charlie was running low, and I was basically having to carry him off of the soccer field in this dramatic, horrible way. And it was heartbreaking because he's a child that loves sports and loves activity, but I wasn't able to figure out mathematically how to make that work for him.
I've actually had 2 coaches look at me when I was younger that said, well, you're not going to amount to anything in your sport. You won't make it past D1, you won't make it to your high school level.
My boss was familiar with Team Type 1 because Phil Sutherland has been a friend of his for years. And so I met with Phil. His best advice was let the kid play. You've got to let the kid play. To this day, we use that same advice, and it's what has helped Charlie become this amazing soccer player.
I have been through those struggles. I've had those coaches that's like, well, I don't want to deal with you because of your disease, and that sucks, honestly. It really does. And sometimes people just don't believe in you. And I just feel like Team Type 1's there, and it's like a key, and it helps athletes through what they need to get through.
Team Type 1 has meant a great deal to me because it actually lets me give back. Because when I was growing up, I didn't really have anyone to look up to from a small town. I didn't know what diabetes was. No one I knew had diabetes. I just wanted to give kids, I guess you could say, a role model to look up to actually say, hey, if he can do it, I can too.
I'm Phil Sutherland. I'm the president and the founder of Team Type 1 Foundation. The real reason I started Team Type 1 is because there was a void and heroes in the world of diabetes. And I wanted to fill that void, and I thought sport could be a great platform to give every person with diabetes in the world a reason to hope, a reason to believe, and a reason to be inspired.
One of my coach's wives from high school, one of her students in her class was just diagnosed, and he played football and he quit because he knew he had diabetes and didn't think he could do it. So I wrote him a letter, tell him he can, this, that, and other, tell him my story, what I've been through, just introducing myself, sending him a picture and everything, just giving him hope. And actually, Coach led him back on the football team and actually playing football right now.
I really feel like these global ambassadors and this generation of teens and early 20 kids who are doing that, who are doing the college thing and doing it well, if we can do all that, now we can step even outside of ourselves and find kids on the other side of the world who don't have test strips and insulin. And now Team Type 1 can not just help me and Charlie figure out how to keep him healthy, but I really feel like Team Type 1 takes it to another level and, we can actually make your son a great ambassador for the world.
I want to be that voice for people that don't have it. Diabetes has been a big impact on my life, and I want to get the word out there. I want to fundraise, and I want to get the supplies to people that don't have that opportunity.
I have all the access to, insulin, to meters, to test strips, everything. I know in third world countries, they don't really have the resources. I just want to give them hope that there is life after diabetes and everything. You can manage it and do whatever you would like to do.
A big role of the Global Ambassadors is to be a hero and inspiration for people with diabetes here in the United States. But there's a whole other sector to this, which is the developing world. 7 out of 8 people in sub-Saharan Africa die before they're diagnosed. The 1 kid out of 8 that was lucky enough to get diagnosed has a life expectancy as short as 7 months. These people don't have a voice. There's no one to talk to them, no one to fight for them, to give them what they need to live good lives with diabetes. So we want these athletes to use their platform in sport to fight for the kids who are dying from the same disease that these kids are succeeding wildly here in the States. And so we see the global ambassadors as ambassadors to the president, ambassadors to their community, to their boosters, to make people aware that there's a very fixable problem. And that fixable problem is access to medicine for disease that people have been living with for 90, 95 years now. Bono once said, where you were born should not dictate whether you live or die. But when it comes to diabetes, it very much does. And I feel that we can solve that problem. It just has to be brought to the attention of the right people in the right places to say, okay, let's do it, and then it'll be done. And if the 91 athletes that are involved in Team Type 1 as global ambassadors, if they can be a part of the next 100 years of success, of life and dreams for people with diabetes, that's something they'll get to carry with them for the rest of their lives and say, I was part of that. And we're going to do it here at Team Type 1. And the people in this room, I have to say thank you because you're a part of life for all.